Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Topic of Conversation. This is episode 6, guys. We're really getting deep into this stuff here. Welcome. Sorry, we're doing it a little bit later in the week. A couple of reasons there. I wanted to try out a new time for one, and also didn't feel like doing it on Monday. Monday was a long day for me. See, I had to drive my family to the airport very early in the morning. We left at I was up at 4:30. Oh, you forgive me this time. Okay, well, I appreciate that. I really do. I know. I'm a real let down. Poor shizzle. Bum, ba-dum, bum. We got a really interesting topic this week. It was given to us by the infamous Blue Panda, who happens to also be my sister-in-law. If anybody is interested in checking out my family members who stream, you can check out AOLS 120, who I'm just gonna say this, he was going to be here tonight, and he's not. So I'll leave it at that. But I'm not mad. I don't get mad. I don't get upset, honestly. The whole fun thing about this show is that it's spontaneous, generally speaking, metaphysically as well. Speaking of metaphysical, our topic today is cryptids. So thanks for throwing that shout out there to Nicholas. Not that he deserves it. I'm not holding a grudge or anything like that. It's no big deal. We also didn't get a background, which I wasn't really expecting that to happen. I think the winner was, in fact, a bot. So, but that was a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. And so I brought my own background with my space me here. So lucky you get to see my space me. For those of you who are new to this stream, this is Topic of Conversation, and the whole purpose of this is to have a conversation with you about whatever it happens to be that we're talking about this week. Again, this week is cryptids, so if you know anything about cryptids, if you know what they are, I mean, that's definitely helpful. You're welcome to chime in the chat and let us know. In just a little while here, I'll also be opening up guest star, what's the word I'm looking for? Requests for voice only, which means you'll be able to pop in and everyone will be able to hear your beautiful voice. Trying to get that set up. What's cryptids? Oh, we'll go into that. We're going to go into cryptids in just a minute. But before we do, I do have to give the regular disclaimer, which starts out something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the disclaimer. That's right, the disclaimer. This American apple pie institution, known as parental discretion, will cleanse any sense of innuendo or sarcasm from the lyrics of this podcast, which might actually make you think, and will insult your intelligence at the same time. So, protect your family. Excuse me. This podcast contains explicit depictions, I always get that word wrong, of things which are real. These real things are commonly known as life. So, if it sounds if it sounds sarcastic, do not take it seriously. If it sounds dangerous, do not try this at home or at all. And if it offends you, just don't listen to it. Those lyrics, of course, are courtesy of The Offspring. To expand on that a little bit, all of the opinions which are given in this podcast are the opinions of the person giving those opinions and of no one else, and are not to be construed as facts. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. That said, participation is required, you guys. Listen, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you know about the topic that we're talking about today. So, yeah, before we get too far into anything, I do have my regular dad joke that I gotta give you today. So, dad joke for today is, what do you call a lonely cheese? Provolone. But that was not a good one. Maybe it was. Cobra thinks so. I appreciate that, Cobra. Very thankful for that. Let's go ahead and explain the rules of the live podcast. Obviously, for those of you listening after the fact on either Spotify or YouTube, which is where we publish these every Monday around 5 a.m. Those of you who are watching live can interact using cancel points, which you'll find at the bottom of your chat. There are various sounds and requirements of me. Actually, I haven't looked at it lately, so I kind of want to look at it and make sure there's nothing in there that I don't actually want to do. I think we're good. Where'd our music go? Oh, it's just really quiet. Speaking of music, big shout out to Harris Heller's Stream Beats, because he makes them free for content creators like myself. And what a wonderful world we live in, that we have people like Harris Heller who are going to produce that music for us. It's much appreciated. If you have a chance, check him out. He does go live here on Twitch, actually, from time to time. Definitely check him out. He's always talking about something interesting. Man, it's possible I'm dying over here, so I hope that's not the case. I do want to stay alive for as long as possible. Back to the rules. So the way the game works is the more channel points you use, the more humble opinions I will give you, and I'm always happy to give out as many humble opinions as I possibly can. Other ways to earn humble opinions, no promises, Cobra. The other way to earn humble opinions is just by watching. You earn humble opinions. You also earn humble opinions by sharing the stream, rating, tipping, which, tipping, as always, is never required. Always very, very grateful for whatever financial help we can get, because, rice and beans, you can only eat them for so long before you just can't anymore. Cobra, are you watching Stream Elements? I apologize. I didn't ask you to mod tonight. I was expecting my real life actual brother and his wife to be here, but they're not. They're not. Yeah, so other ways, if you look down at... oh, that's what I missed there. I'm like, where's my stuff? If you look down at the about section down below, you'll see all of the ways that you can get humble opinions. Now, the more humble opinions you get, the better, because at the end of our conversation tonight, the person with the most humble opinions gets to decide our topic for next week. So we're going to do it a little bit differently tonight. Thank you, Cobra. I do appreciate that. Normally, I have been giving you a few minutes to think of a topic and give it to me. Tonight, I'm going to go a different route, and we're just going to take the names that are actually there, and you can send an email. So if you're the winner, you can send an email of the topic, or direct message me or something in Discord. But you'll have until the next live recording, which is typically on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Tonight's just real special, that's all. So first place winner, the one with the most humble opinions, is going to determine our topic for next week, which is always fun. No holds barred there, except don't do anything that's going to get me kicked off of Twitch or YouTube or Spotify or, anywhere that this ends up getting posted. The second place winner gets to decide what my background is. So our second place winner last week did not come through for us there. So I picked my own background because I think it's pretty. Did I miss anything? Cobra, did I miss anything? Did I? Did I miss anything? Being as viewer interaction is required, please feel free to type whatever you want. Mods may bite. That's actually true. If anybody doesn't know Hawaiian cobra, he is in fact the most venomous snake in Hawaii. It's true. So yeah, also check him out. He streams right here on Twitch as well. Though I notice he hasn't been doing that lately, Cobra. What's going on there, man? Tell me. Huh? Tell me. While we're waiting for him to tell me, let's figure out why I can't seem to see my channel. Because I want to see just how pretty my face is. Is it pretty? Am I pretty enough for you? I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Seville. Alright, so our topic tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as previously stated... Whoa! I had my volume up on my thing. Trying to lay low. Yeah, lay low. Alright, do that. Snakes. Do that thing. Our topic tonight is cryptids. Raise your hand if you know what cryptids are. They're actual real-life things. Well, they might be actual real-life things. Touches the floor. Put an accent on the E and it's touche the floor. Just saying. Yeah, cryptids, guys. We're gonna go straight into what is a cryptid, and for this I'm always gonna go straight to our Google dictionary because Google knows literally everything. But this one's gonna drive us over to Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster's dictionary says an animal. So cryptid is an animal, but then it puts in parentheses such as Sasquatch or the Loch Ness Monster that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist. So the facts of the matter are, Cobra, you yourself are a cryptid. We don't really know if you exist. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, don't correct me because I'm not wrong. So cryptids are animals that may or may not exist. Okay? Chupacabra comes to mind. Dragons come to mind. Now, I found a list of cryptids, so I want to go through some of them, guys, and I want to explore a little bit of the history of some of them, because everybody knows, you know, the big ones: Bigfoot, Loch Ness, Chupacabra's come up a little bit more recently, anyway. But I really love the way that Wikipedia, well, that's insulting my uncle's nephew's auntie's brother's cousin. Brother is Bigfoot. Oh, what's going on with my music again? Stop doing that. I don't know what's up with it. Change the song, see if it fixes it. Cobra, is that coming through choppy? Hey, Adrian, thank you. Appreciate the happy affiliate anniversary. I actually didn't say anything about that because I did a little pop-up stream last night. No face camera or anything because I wasn't purdied up for you. It's gone now. Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's Amazon Music sometimes has issues. I think I might switch over to Spotify eventually. But yeah, so I did do a little pop-up 1 hour stream. It wasn't anything special. I happened to be playing Goose Goose Duck with some friends, and it was fine, you know. So thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary. It has been 1 year since Twitch has agreed to give me money for doing this. Of course, all the way back then, I wasn't doing this, and the brother that never showed. Yeah, well, I will allow you to haze him. I am going to say nothing more on that subject. Because, look, people have other things come up. My only ask is this: like, if you've agreed to do something, either do it or give me a reason why you can't do it. I'm never mad if somebody backs out. Yeah, it can be frustrating, last minute dropouts and things like that. But if I know it's coming in advance, I can prepare for it. So, that said, I might have been, I might have done well to have a backup on that. Anyway, look, we're getting off topic. Look what you're doing. My ADD is not going to allow me to ignore comments like that. Holy cannoli, he knows I love it. All right, so cryptids. I love the way that Wikipedia actually talks about cryptids because it's funny in the sense. My ex's sister had ADD. Stop! ADD, different dads, all different. Oh, ADD. I get it. I'm not. Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. My train of thought just derailed and crashed in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. It's spewing gas. I don't know if you know this, but it is. That's my train of thought. That's gas. The way that Wikipedia says it's funny, and I'm going to read it word for word because, it's not. Words aren't working today, guys. Seems kind of typical, though, right? It's funny the way they word this. It's not plagiarism because nobody trusts Wikipedia anyway. Tell me I'm wrong. I know that's right. Cryptids are animals that, and wait for this word is fun, cryptozoologists believe may exist somewhere in the wild, but whose present existence is disputed or unsubstantiated by science. Now, if you're like me, you trust the science. And we can only ever trust science to know literally everything, because how could we possibly even survive if there was no the science? That's a real question. Feel free to answer that in the chat if you want to. Yeah, do. But anyway, they go on to say that cryptozoology is a pseudoscience. To be fair, so is psychology. Psychiatry to an extent, but it's sort of an offshoot of psychology. It's just the part that deals with the actual chemicals and whatnot. So a pseudoscience, which primarily looks at anecdotal stories and other claims rejected by the scientific community. Rejected, straight up rejected. Science is like, chupacabra. No, sir. You won't be sucking any goats today. So, out the window with that. Science said women can't ride in trains because it'll yank out they no-nos. Somebody translate this for me. I don't know what this person is saying. Can't ride in trains because it'll yank out they no-no square. What the fuck's a no-no square? You got me on that one, Adrian. I gotta say, you got me on that. Science do be missing sometimes. These are facts. These are big facts. Like, for example, science was all like, there's no way that you can get around the world in a boat and you'll just go right back around to India. Wizard sleeve. Oh, you're talking about vaginas. Got it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a no-no square is a vagina. Other names for it are the box, the muff pie, wizard sleeve, because it makes your magic wand disappear. I got got that one. I got that one. I had a feeling this is what you were talking about, and it's actually true. I rode a train once with a woman, and it just gone right out the window. Strangest thing I ever saw. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, while biologists regularly identify new species following established scientific methodology, I feel like this is just so condescending. We should find out who did the edit on this one. That's just so condescending, right? They're like, ha, real scientists do actual science things and identify real animals. You know, once upon a time, certain real animals were cryptids, okay? Like, people were like, wombat, that's not a real thing. Turns out it was. Panda bears, they're not even bears. Think about that. Think about it. Phrasing is kind of rude. It's super rude. Shall I go one? A bearded clam. Oh, shall you go on? Bearded clam, lovely lily honeypot. Woodpeckers. Oh, you're back on the subject that I was actually talking about. Got it. Yeah, nobody believes in woodpeckers. I don't think they exist. I'm pretty sure they don't. Cryptozoologists focus on entities mentioned in the folklore record and rumor. Entities that may be considered cryptids. Hold on. Think of this phrasing right here, okay? Entities that may be considered cryptids by cryptozoologists include Bigfoot, Yeti, and Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, Loch Ness Monster, and the Mokolemembe. I don't think those consonants are supposed to follow one another in that way. Mbembe. It's M-B-E-M-B-E. Aeolus, 5 minutes pre-roll ad. I love Twitch. Yeah, you're not supposed to actually get pre-roll ads. I've got pre-roll turned off, so fuck Twitch. Hey, welcome to the show, brother man. We're talking about cryptids tonight. I don't know if you're aware of that, but we were just visiting condescending Wikipedia that's telling us all about just how unrealistic these things are. But this verbiage in particular gets me, guys. Entities that may be considered cryptids by cryptozoologists. The person writing this doesn't even know. They're like, well, I guess cryptozoologists might also include these. I don't know. They're like Bigfoot, Yeti, mooses. I've never seen a moose. Skinwalkers are real. Skinwalkers, Wendigos, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot you were starting early this week. Dang, I thought the 50 or so reminders would have got you there, but I've already moved on from that. Cobra, I think, had some things he wanted to say to you, though, so I'm going to let you guys do your thing in chat. That's fine. You can't convince me differently. All right, I'll tell you what. This is a really good starting point, Adrian. You claim that skinwalkers are in fact real, so skinwalkers are what we're going to start with. I don't like sharing my screen. My screen share thing is not as pretty as I'd like it to be, but I do want y'all to see what I'm looking at here. So I'm looking at Wikipedia, so we got a whole list here. We're gonna find our walkers. There we go. Megalodon, Loveland frog. This one freaks me out, guys. The Loveland frog thing. Like, I don't know anything about it, but just looking at this little dude that's walking upright like a human being, that. Ooh, no bueno, man. I don't like that at all. Not even a little bit. Oh, forgot I was showing that screen. Probably shouldn't show my backstage area there. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go like this. Boop. Now I can see it, but you cannot. All right, was I talking about Loveland? Yeah, Loveland frog. Like, what the? Lizard people. Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, hey, here's that weird one. Oh, Republic of Congo. That's why the name is a MBEMBE, which, I mean, how do you say that? Really? No Frogman. Yo, what the shit? That's what I'm saying. Huffalumps and Woozles. I don't know, actually. That's a Disney thing, and they make up a lot of stuff. Like 50 different genders, I think, among other things. Amazon ad is like 12 in love. Toys are in. You know, they specialize like the ads to what you search for. So I mean, if you're looking for love toys, that's on you, homie. Lake Okanaga. Oh, we got more lake monsters. Look at that. I like lake monsters. Loch Ness. Like, I feel like Loch Ness would just be super friendly. There are a lot more of these than I thought. Like, I was pretty certain that chupacabras, by the way, that's not what a chupacabra looks like. That's incorrect. Chupacabras, yetis, which yetis and Sasquatch are really the same thing. They just live in different places. They're just, they're Chinese Bigfoots. I know there's a huge difference between European cryptids and American cryptids. Well, there are a lot that are regional, and that makes sense, right? Because they come from folklore. So, essentially, bedtime stories that people have talked to their kids about to make them do what they want. I like this one, British Big Cats. Alien Big Cats? I didn't see that name before, but they don't have a link for it, so I don't know how we're gonna go into that one at all. All right, we're looking for skinwalkers, though. Why does my music, like, have no ending? I have to hear my music. You have to hear it. American ones tend to be a lot scarier. The American ones are mostly capitalists, though, so they're like, yeah, I'll let you see me, but it's gonna cost you. I think America is just normal EU stuff on meth. Well, I don't know if you know this, but meth actually originated in the UK. Yeah, it was actually started in the 40s, actually. Shortly after the end of World War II, methamphetamines were created by a British scientist. Originally, he was trying to create a superhuman, which he actually did successfully. Thank you, Mr. President Streaming. Happy affiliate anniversary, he says. And yeah, big thank you for that. I appreciate it. We kind of celebrated yesterday, which I guess was the day of, with a little bit of a game stream, which, you know, game streams are stupid. For me, I don't do that kind of thing. Mongolian deathworm. Yeah, no, this one's gross. This one makes me want to unalive myself because, if something like that exists in this world, then this is not a world I want to be a part of. Although now I kind of think about it, Dune. Like, if these things were enormous and we're like surfing through the sand and stuff, it's Dune. So, yeah. So getting to the skinwalkers, hominid. So they should be a hominid, I believe, right? We've got our yetis, we've got our yowies, we've got our urines. Urine. Skunk ape. Florida. I'm in Florida. Okay, we're gonna start there instead because I can't find skinwalkers on here. There's no skinwalkers unless they have another name. Does anybody know another name for a skinwalker? These guys all fly. Mothman made a movie about this guy. Also, Jersey Devil. How does this thing balance like that? There's no way that something with that big of a head is not just falling over all the time. All the time. He told me he was starting early once late last night. If your real life younger brother would be on time. Well, you know what? Look. Did I tell you once late last? Look, all right. It sounds like people want to get into this. Are we gonna get into this? No, I don't want to get into this because then y'all are gonna think I'm mad or upset or whatever, which I'm not. It's just, you know, makes for good conversation. We got to talk about this guy, the skunk ape, because this bugger apparently lives with me here in Florida. Similar entities, Bigfoot, Yeti, urine. Almas yowie. Okay, same kind of stuff. Swamp ape is another name for it. Commonly described as a bipedal ape-like creature, approximately 1.5 to 2.1 meters. That's tall. 5 to 7 feet. Covered in mottled reddish-brown hair. Skunk ape is often reported to be smaller in stature compared to traditional descriptions of Bigfoot. Oh, I see what happened here. Florida was like, hey, man, the Great Northwest has Bigfoot. They've got Sasquatch. We need something too. I played a mean skin suit. Not sure if it's like a skin. I don't know nothing about no skin suit. It's a meat suit, actually, now I think about it. Mothman is cute. You think so? I think Mothman's cute. He's in our flyers here. This is the depiction of Mothman. You remember that movie, Mothman Prophecies? Does anybody remember that from the 90s? That was the 90s, right? When was that? Google knows. Mothman Prophecies. Oh, 2002. That's newer than I thought it was. Interesting. It's an okay movie. It gave me a terrible fear of bridges. I'll tell you that much. I don't like it. Whoa! Adrian, yo, thank you for the subscription. Let's go! Oh, it stopped. Right on, man. I appreciate that. Welcome back to the subscriber club with 3 months. Damn, dude. I love you. Using that Prime up. Maybe if we bothered to subscribe ads, woot. Is that how it works? No, it's not a subscriber only thing. But anyway. No armed panda. Oh my gosh, I missed a bunch of y'all's chat. I gotta get back in there while you're all having a nice look-see at the lovely Mothman. Amazon ads like 12. Oh, that's old. I went too far, guys. I went too far. Coming for you, brother. Toes starting hatred. Jersey Devil freaks me out. Yeah, I don't know about that. Mothman, yeah. And we're gonna get into some of the things that they do here in just a second. In fact, let's jump back to the skunk ape here real quick. I'm a broke bitch and this gig doesn't pay. That's right, it's true. Dude, I used to get major Mothman nightmares. Is that from the movie? Yeah, I mean, I get that. For sure. Welcome back, Cobra. I didn't know you anywhere, but I'm appreciative to you. So Florida Bigfoot here. Let's talk about Florida Bigfoot. They saw him as early as 1818. Wow. He was in the newspapers. Reported a story from what is now Apalachicola. Where is that? I'm more curious as to how close this is to me because it's in the Panhandle. That makes sense. You got some real backward folk up there in the Panhandle. You know, they're all may as well be a part of Alabama. I don't know. They're not even really close to Alabama. Anyway, 1929, a sighting occurred in the famous and then recently constructed Perky Bat Tower. You get some Perky Bats at the Florida Keys. Oh, okay. So they see them down in the Keys as recently as 1929. Let's see when the most recent one was, because 2000, Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. My parents live in that area. So that's not too far from here, actually. It's about an hour drive south from here. I received 2 anonymous photos depicting a large, hairy, ape-like creature. This was, keep in mind, 2000, the dawn of the internet. It was when people were just learning how to Photoshop things. Mothman just wants to tickle fight with your intestines. Yeah, right? That's not a big deal. Not so bad. There are worse. It's not like he wants to skin you alive and then wear your skin as his own clothing. Which is essentially what I think skinwalkers must do. I assume. Y'all are welcome to correct me on that, but clearly skinwalkers are not considered cryptids because they're not here. They're not in our very accurate and factually true depiction of all cryptids here. So, because it's not there, it must not actually be a thing. So, sorry guys, no. Hey, you were right about the woodpecker thing. Ivory-billed woodpecker, more particularly. That's interesting. Pretty sure that's spot on. They're not considered cryptids because they are proven real. Don't do that. I've seen Walking Dead. Actually, I want to make that dude's mask. Oh, hey, maybe you could do that for me. You know how I wanted that mask from Phantom of the Opera? That was cool and all, but what I really want is the big dude skinwalker mask. The big dude with long hair from Walking Dead. They don't wear your skin because they can appear as dead relatives and such. Oh. What if I don't know the relative's dead? I could look into both. I'll give you more details about it, but that would be epic. And that might be a good leather work. It'd be a loose leather. It wouldn't be like the real hard stuff. So anyway, keeping it limp, I guess. Skunk ape. Guys, we are still talking about the skunk ape. We've got some proposed explanations. This concerns me, guys. This is sightings. Look at how huge this section is. Sightings. In 1977, a failed to pass bill was proposed to the Florida state legislature to make it illegal to take, possess, harm, or molest anthropoids or humanoid animals. What? I mean, the state of Florida government tried to pass a bill to make it illegal to take, possess, harm, or molest. And I want to clarify real quick, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, who's going to be molesting these animals? But like, it's not that kind of molest. Molesting is like annoying or bothering. Several Everglades wildlife tour bus operators and their guests have reported alleged sightings in '97. One such operator, David Sheely, I know that guy, he was actually a real good dude. He disappeared one day and never came back. Reported wildlife bait stands laden with lima bean had been raided, and he noticed strange tracks surrounding them. Okay, so they like lima beans. Skunk ape crazy by your folks. Ain't that the truth? It's common they draw you in with the voice of a loved one, which they have recently killed. Okay, so it's expected that I wouldn't know that they're dead. So, Aeolus, if you ever come knocking on my door out of nowhere, I'm gonna be like, nope. You're making me want to learn more about these skinwalkers, though. So, I don't like that they're not on this list. I feel like that's a disservice. But they gotta be cryptids, right? Because they're obviously not real. Obviously, they're not real. What's wrong with you people? Ivory-billed woodpecker. That's down here in Florida too. So we're gonna make a little detour. We're gonna detour back to Google. And we're gonna Google skinwalkers. And here's the thing, guys, is I've heard that skinwalkers will appear when you've searched them on Google. Yeah, totally not real. So it is particular to the Navajo culture. Skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. Your skinwalkers are not seeming so interesting when they're put in that particular way. This is an actual legend, actually. Native American culture is actually very interesting to me. I took a course on it way back in the day when I first started college, uni, as it were. That's Loup Garou. I don't know what that means. The Navajo language, Yinaldlushi. translates to by means of it, it goes on all fours. All right, let's read the legend. Animals associated with witchcraft usually include tricksters, sure, such as coyote. However, it may include other creatures, usually those associated with death or bad omens. They might also possess living animals or people. Ooh, I don't like that. And walk around in their bodies. Skinwalkers may be male or female. Skinwalker stories told among Navajo children may be complete life and death struggles that end in either Skinwalker or Navajo killing the other, or partial encounter stories that end in a stalemate. Encounter stories may be composed as Navajo victory stories with the Skinwalkers approaching a Hogan and being scared away. I want to read some of these stories. Somebody give me a story. I want to read one of these. They sound like fun, right? Right? I mean, it sounds like fun to me. Let's see if we can find something. I've got a bunch of native Hawaiian ones. See, but I want to see an actual. Oh, we were already there. One of these actual stories. Some kind of power. Navajo children's skinwalker narratives. See, it's not actually giving the books. We may have to come back to that another time. Witchcraft and folklore and mythology. Alright, well, if by fun you mean listening to a harrowing tale of dude fighting for his life, sure. That's exactly what I mean. You think that's bad? You should read some of the Hawaiian stuff. I mean, maybe you have. You've heard of the night marchers, right? Don't whistle at night. So you're not allowed to whistle after dark, by the way. You're also not allowed to carry pork over the poly. I don't know. I don't make this stuff up. All right, back to the skunk ape. Are we done with the skunk ape? I feel like at this point the skunk ape has kind of, I don't know, he's given us all he can give. We want to talk about the Mothman, though. I know y'all all seem to really love the Mothman. Nobody's scared of the Mothman at all. It probably has nothing to do with the fact that it can fly. And also likes to eat your insides. West Virginia folklore. All right. Mothman is a humanoid creature reportedly seen in the Point Pleasant area from November 15th, 1966 to December 15th, 1967. I mean, what? So it hasn't been seen since? Oh, I like this. On November 15th, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant, Dickie and Linda Max. Imagine being named Dickie, you guys. Just imagine that. Mothman is freaky because it gets so specific. Let's get into some of those specifics, because I'm curious now. You got me wondering what many of those specifics are. Oh, they're talking about Slender Man. Wait, where did it go? Shite poke. Okay, maybe I just read something wrong. Okay, November 15th, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant, Dickie and Linda Maxwell, still funny, and Steve and Mary Mallet, told police they had seen a large white creature whose eyes glowed red. So why is the picture of it black? That's super racist. And historically inaccurate. Dick would be like, yo, that's not what I saw. Whose eyes glowed red, standing at the side of the road near the TNT area. I need to read more about that. The site of a former World War II munitions plant. Linda Scarberry described it as a slender. Oh, that's where I saw slender. I removed muscular because and I put in slender man. Slender, muscular man, about 7 feet tall with white wings, and said that she was unable to discern its face due to the hypnotic effect of its eyes, which leads you to wonder if it has a face at all. Distressed, the witnesses drove away at high speed and said that the creature flew after their car, making a screeching sound. It pursued them as far as Point Pleasant city limits. Wouldn't go in the city. What's going on with Point Pleasant. They're like, oh, we had a witch come in and put a spell over the city so it's protected from the Mothman. I'm gonna scratch my nose now. I just want you to know right now, Adrian, I am not picking my nose. Just scratching it a little bit. She clapped Mothman. Yes, she got the clap from Mothman. During the next few days, other people reported similar sightings after local newspapers reported it. Oh, the newspapers reported it. Ooh, wouldn't it be cool if we saw it too? Come on, guys. Bruh. Didn't even use a napkin on the boogie. No. Nah, man. It's all over my arm now. Ha! 2 volunteer firemen who saw it said it. Sorry, who allegedly saw it. It's not what it says here, but I'm gonna add allegedly. Who allegedly saw it said it was a large bird with red eyes. Mason County Sheriff George Johnson commented that he believed the sightings were due to an unusually large heron he termed a shitepoke. Shitepoke? There's no link on shitepoke. How am I supposed to look that up? Just saying. Contractor Newell Partridge told Johnson that when he aimed a flashlight at a creature in a nearby field, its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors. Additionally, he blamed buzzing noises from his television set and the disappearance of his German Shepherd dog on the creature. Unrelated, man. It's like, oh yeah, my TV was buzzing. It must have been the giant Mothman standing outside my window. Just looking. With its glowing red eyes. Wildlife biologist Robert L. Smith at West Virginia University. West Virginia. Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's West Virginia. That is where meth comes from. Anyway, told reporters that descriptions and sightings all fit the sandhill crane, because the sandhill crane has eyes so mesmerizing that you can't even see if it has a face. A large American crane almost as tall as a man, with a 7-foot wingspan, featuring circles of reddish coloring around the eyes. The bird may have wandered out of its migration route, and therefore was unrecognized at first because it was not native to this region. I mean, I could see that. Mothman looks cool. Only reason I think it's neat, because it looks cool. You think that monstrosity looks cool? Where was it? Hang on. Where was this? You think this nasty bugger? Look how furry he is. He's got bird wings and like... I like how it has this little on the side here to show you. This thing's bigger than I am. Hello, I'm a 2-inch tall human being. Well, we just want to give you some context of the size. Like, how does that give us any context? Definitely something you chuck at a huge Velcro pad. The tails are pretty lame. So far, you're right. So far, I am not impressed. No offense, Mothman. Yes, you're very scary. What was that? Where were we? Due to the popularity of... Guys, it's Batman. I'm the Knight. Due to the popularity of the Batman TV series at the time, which, by the way, Adam West was the best Batman, and I'll fight you on that one. So if you want to tell me that it's not true, then we're going to set up a fight night. It's going to be on pay-per-view. It's going to be like the whole Zuck Musk thing again. Lizard Man versus, you know, middle-aged billionaire. Anyway, bet Orioli's scared of the Mothmans, and Dean Cain was the best Superman. No, you gotta go back further than that. Dean Cain, come on. No. It's what's his name? No one cares about Superman. He's been boring since the 1940s. He's not even a real superhero. He's a detective. Popularity of Batman series at the time, the fictional superhero Batman and his rogues gallery were prominently featured in the public eye. While the villain Killer Moth did not appear in the show, the comic book influence of both him and Batman is believed by some to have influenced the coinage of the name Mothman in the local newspapers. You know what? And maybe this is a strange tangent, but that actually just made me think. Yes, but Christopher Reeves is the best. That's, yeah, exactly what I was thinking. You're right. Although, I'm not going to lie, dude, I like Henry Cavill, like, a lot. I think he's good. I think he's really good. He was also good in Witcher, too, so I'm really sad that he's not going to be on season 4 for that. This made me think of the Mandela effect. Don't ask me why. It did, though. I might do an episode on that one of these days, because I was sucked into the Mandela effect idea. But I was kind of like, what could the Mandela effect really be? There's not this universal thing. But then somebody connected it to the Large Hadron Collider.
If liking women makes me gay, then yeah, I'm gay. I'm all the way gay. I'm completely homosexual in every imaginable way, if that's what it means to be gay.
All right, thank you. Cavill is a C, by the way, not a K. HC. Cobra. But thank you for the yeah, I'm gay there, Adrian. I appreciate it. So that tells me that you don't want to talk about atomic physics. That's fine. That's fine. We'll come on to that some other time. Because when I get into that, so the Mandela effect takes me into quantum physics, takes me into religion, takes me into other more exponentially larger universal questions and things. Anyway, talk about the Mandela effect. I'm interested. Well, we've got one who's interested. Well, Adrian says I'm good, so... I'm not gonna lie though, Aeolus, I'm not sure you want to talk about anything. I mean, otherwise you might have, I don't know, gotten here on time to actually talk about this. Ooh, sick burn, bro. Just playing. Drop that you're gay. I love that. You're right. That's why I put it there, because it is fun. It is. It's actually hilarious. Oh, good point. I might as well leave. No! Fine, leave if you want to. I like having you here. Who else am I supposed to haze? Honestly, look, Mandela effect, Large Hadron Collider. So if nobody knows what the Large Hadron Collider does, is essentially it...
No, you big piece of shit.
No, you big piece of shit. It moves atoms around at near the speed of light, and essentially collides them in order to... It's hard to explain, but they're essentially trying to make them break into whatever their smaller pieces are, so that they can kind of determine what they're made of and what other elements are maybe involved that we have not discovered or can't see yet. So the theory is that the Mandela effect happened when the Large Hadron Collider was first turned on in 2012, causing people to misremember things. And it's called the Mandela effect specifically because Nelson Mandela, apparently a lot of people will remember and swear up and down that he died as a political prisoner in South Africa, when in fact he did not. Did he die already? No, I don't remember now. Maybe he did, but yeah, in 2013. So people thought that he died years before, like in the 80s or 90s, but in fact, he had not. So that's why it's called the Mandela effect, but it applies to things like, if you remember, the Berenstain Bears, for example, was by, I mean, it was, you know, the Berenstein Bears, like Berenstein, right? Berenstain. But in fact, it's Berenstain, ends in AIN rather than EIN. That's the Mandela effect. That's the theory. We'll get into it another time. That one does go deep, actually. Like, when I'm left to my own thoughts, I can go really deep. But I want somebody on here to have a conversation about that with me, because I can go off the rails real quick on that one. It's a fact. 5 million years, the world will explode. It's in the Bible. It's a fact. What are we talking about? You see what you guys did to me? Okay. Shitpoke, Newell Partridge, Batman, collapse of the Silver Bridge. Okay, so I didn't know this, but if you remember in the Mothman prophecies, there's the whole bridge collapsing thing. Apparently that's based on this actual thing that occurred here. Following the December 15th, 1967 collapse of the Silver Bridge and the death of 46 people, the incident gave rise to the legend and connected the Mothman sightings to the bridge collapse. These are boring. You're not wrong. Oh, here, look at that. There's the movie. Major motion picture, loosely based on the 1975 book of the same name by John Kill. Okay. Interesting. 2016, that's pretty recent. Published a photo purported to be of Mothman taken by an anonymous man. They're always anonymous. Look, I found this. I took this picture. It's the Mothman. It's this or that thing. Okay, anonymous source. All right, that's a Mothman. Who else is interesting? Should we go into some of the, Oh, we were gonna look at that, huh? The, World War II ammunition factory. Nah, that's right. Not necessary. Jersey Devil's a big one, and, Jersey Devil's one that I heard of, but didn't really know anything about. First of all, this is just ridiculous. Guys. Physics tells me that this thing should not be able to stand upright like that. Unless it's flapping its wings to keep it up like that. Doesn't make any sense. Jersey Devil PS1 video game. Demo on PlayStation Underground. I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember exactly. Wasn't that like a car racing game or something? Well, let's talk about, oh look, you got Jersey Devil hockey team. Okay, we can delve into hockey a little bit, I guess. This is South Jersey and Philadelphia folklore. South Jersey and Philadelphia folklore. Hey, Prez, why don't you tell us a bit about this? You should know. You're from that area. If he's still around, I mean, boy, that'd be great. Oh, you know what I didn't do, guys? I apologize. I did not finish. Setting up your requests. I totally forgot. So I am gonna go ahead and open up for requests. If you do want to pop in and let your beautiful voice be heard, it is going to be voice only, so just know that. Back to it though. Jersey Devil. Mother leads 13th child. According to popular folklore, the Jersey Devil originated with a Pine Barrens resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after discovering she was pregnant for the 13th time, cursed the child in frustration, declaring that the child would be the devil. In 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child transformed into a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Growling and screaming, the child beat everyone with its tail before flying up the chimney and heading into the pines. In some versions of the tale, Mother Leeds was supposedly a witch, and the child's father was the devil himself. Some versions of the legend also state that local clergymen subsequently attempted to exorcise the creature from the Pine Barrens. Jeez, like reverse Santa Claus! I'll tell you what, I would much rather that thing be going up the chimney than down the chimney. Because I don't want none of that in my house. Man, I don't have a chimney. I live in an apartment, but man, you're not kidding. Kangaroo-like, okay. Wyvern-like creature. A horse or goat-like head, leathery bat-like wings, horns, small arms, clawed hands. See, I like this a little better than the other ones we've talked about so far because it's older. Like I like ones that come from like old tales and things like that. Like when we talk about nursery rhymes, where they talk about witches and dragons and things like that. So this one's a little bit older. Comes from 1700s. What's this though? Looking at Regal contends that colonial era political intrigue involving early New Jersey politicians Benjamin Franklin and Franklin's rival almanac publisher Daniel Leeds resulted in the Leeds family being described as monsters, and it was Daniel Leeds' negative description as the Leeds Devil rather than any actual creature that created the later legend of the Jersey Devil. That's great. Imagine if our politicians going back and forth and calling each other names, like in 100 years, turns into like an actual legend of people thinking there's whatever they were called out there. That man was literally the devil, literally. It just goes to show that you can't judge the past by the morals of the present. I know nobody asked, but boo hags, huh? You want to talk about boo hags? Now, are boo hags a cryptid? I mean, keep in mind we're talking about a very specific group of fictional entities. If a boo hag is in fact in that category, I mean, we would find it here. This is in fact an exhaustive list of all possible cryptids to exist anywhere on the planet. For example, the Honey Island Swamp Monster, Louisiana. What's this guy? Also known as the Cajun Sasquatch. Everybody's just copying Sasquatch. It's a bipedal humanoid about 7 feet tall, covered in hair. Come on, guys. Come on. Alright, so clearly Bigfoot is overplayed in the United States. Who do you think came first, Bigfoot or a Yeti? Fictional, yeah. Fictional. Yeti, abominable snowman, large and hairy human-like entity, various other descriptions. Yada, yada, yada. Alright, so we're gonna compare real quick Yetis and Sasquatches, because, come on, they're the same thing. So where did they come from? That's what I want to know. We know the description. Everybody knows what a friggin' Bigfoot looks like. I didn't save it. I made some AI pictures. Let me see if I saved any of the ones of AI depictions of Sasquatch. They're gross. They're weird looking. They're like they look like misshapen monkeys. Looks like I didn't save any, but AI has some interesting thoughts on what a Sasquatch probably looks like. It ain't pretty, I'll tell you that. when you actually read these legends, they all popped up separately. Many totally separated native tribes had their own unique Yeti stories. Makes you wonder, which native tribes had those stories? Because from what I can tell so far is none of these, outside of skinwalkers, actually came from any kind of native legends. All of these seem to come from dubious sources of sightings. We know for a fact that Bigfoot is not real, at least as we know it, because we know that who was this guy? The documented hoaxes. Here we go. That's a hoax. We know that. But the dude that claimed he had like the footprints came out, had all the casts of like the feet prints and whatnot. Totally bogus things. We knew that was a hoax all along. But I wanted to see when this kind of first came around. All right, fine. Indigenous and early records. You got me on that one. You got me on that one. I concede. You have Wait, what? You're currently looking at depictions of Yeti-like creatures on native petroglyphs. I am now. Jeez, chill. Many of the indigenous cultures across the North American continent included tales of mysterious hair-covered creatures living in forests, and according to anthropologist David Degling, these legends existed long before contemporary reports of the creature described as Bigfoot. These stories differed in their details regionally and between families in the same community, and are particularly prevalent in the Pacific Northwest. Well, first of all, everybody up there is on shrooms, so we can't really trust whether or not they actually saw them or if it was just a part of their particular trip. All of them describe them differently, so stories are not corroborated, which is very important in the investigative aspect of looking for reality here. So I don't know, man. I don't know. You think Bigfoot's real? Weird. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. I'm dumb, don't mind me. Yetis, though. Where did Yetis start out? This is what I want to know. Okay, pre-19th century, they say. According to H. Seeger, the Yeti was part of the pre-Buddhist beliefs of several Himalayan people. He was told that the Lepcha people worshipped a glacier being as a god of the hunt. He also reported that followers of the Bon religion once believed the blood of the Mi-Rogad. You can't have consonants line up that way and expect me to be able to say it, or wild man had used in certain scriptural ceremonies. Had use in. Gosh, I added a D to that word when there didn't need to be one. My bad. Depicted as an ape-like creature, carries large stone as a weapon and makes a whistling swoosh sound. Shh. Shh. Not sure exactly what a whistling swoosh sounds like, but if I can find it, I'll add it to my list of sounds you can play around with on the stream here. Let's take a quick break from all this. I want to see who's winning. Who's winning? I want to know. Who's winning? Oh, dang! I love seeing two names on top that I know are not questionable and or bot-like. So right now we got Adrian on top in the #1 spot. with a close second of Mr. President streaming. So we'll see if that holds up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. All right, I gotta take a quick break. Mentally, like not from the stream, but I gotta take a break from all of this nonsense. You guys, this is just nonsense. Yeti was adopted into Tibetan Buddhism. What? Have you guys ever heard my explanation of Buddhism? I believe we got into that a little bit on the first podcast. Not real deep into it or anything. Fast AF. All the people are whining. Oh, winning, right. Yeah, shake that ass. Yep, I need some water. I don't know. You guys, what do you think about all this? I mean, be honest with me. Obviously, a lot of this stuff kind of comes from... No, I don't know what you think of Buddhism. Do you want to know? I think some cryptids are decent. What do you mean decent, though? Like, do you think they're real? Do you think they're cool? Do you think you should find one and take it home as a pet? Not in Florida, because you're not allowed to take them in Florida. At least not the humanoid ones. See, I'm skeptical about this, but I'm a skeptic really when it comes to just about anything. So, I mean, I gotta have hard evidence, and not just the fact that evidence exists. I need it presented to me in a way that I can say, hey, that makes sense. Kind of creepy. Most of them are pretty lame, so I wouldn't waste time looking for them. They're not Pokemon. Obviously, you gotta spend your time catching the Pokemons. Yeah, I had a question for Aeolus when his wife first came up with this, which was, do you think SCPs are considered cryptids? I think the big difference is cryptids are more of based in actual legends, whereas these SCPs are really kind of just horror creatures. They aren't. I mean, aren't they? Oh, what? Pokemon? Yeah. Personally, I like the Digimons. I don't know. I've never been into anime. I watched Dragon Ball Z for a little while, but only Dragon Ball Z. I never watched Dragon Ball or GT or any of those. But you know, I was 13 through 17 once upon a time. So does your wife. That makes sense. All right. Well, you know, let's keep going. Which one do we want to talk about next, guys? We're only going to use this list because I believe that if any other cryptids existed, they would be on this list. They would have to be. Zanzibar leopard. See, things like this to me, it's like, so what's special about them? They're a funny looking animal. Shit like this makes me, you know how I feel about that one already. The Mapinguari. He's a sloth. Just a fat sloth, that's all. Some SCPs are based on cryptids. That makes some sense. Digimon seemed okay, but you'd rather think of horrible things out there that you can make fight each other to the death. So yeah, I mean, that's like back to the Musk versus Zuckerberg thing, right? I do think that fight should be to the death, to be honest. It's like it's the duel of the fates. You know, when you think about it, because depending on who survives, that's really going to change the way the world goes. Yeah, just saying. Maybe it should be. Mongolian death worm. See, this one actually is showing it as a snake. What's that about? Alleged to exist in the Gobi Desert. However, no evidence has ever been found to support this belief. I don't even want to like look into this just because of this right here. This right here. This is a thing of nightmares. You guys. You want to do death worm? It does seem sketchy. I mean, look at this. It's like, well, look, here's the thing. If you look at like parasitic worms, like many of the microscopic ones, this is what they look like. So imagine it, but like people-sized. All right, you want to go there? We're gonna go there. Fine. You sure you don't want to talk about the Michigan dog man? Because we could talk about the Michigan dog man. Leech mouth, yeah, leech, kind of similar. You're with it. All right, Mongolian death worm. Oh, this is a Tartar sand boa. Once upon a time, it was mistaken for the Olgoy Korkoi. I'm gonna just say I pronounced that perfectly. Turns out I speak Mongolian. Mongolian's a language, right? Tales of the creature first came to Western attention as a result of Roy Chapman Andrews' 1926 book On the Trail of Ancient Man. The American paleontologist described secondhand tales of the monster that he heard at a gathering of Mongolian officials. None of those present ever had seen the creature, but they all firmly believed in its existence and described it minutely. Minutely. How do you know when to pronounce it that way? Minutely. Minutely. In 1983, a specimen of Tartar sand boa was shown to locals who claimed to have seen Olgoy Korkoi, and they confirmed that this was the same animal. Obviously, that's incorrect. That's a snake, and that's a nasty alien space worm. In On the Trail of Ancient Man, Andrew cites Mongolian Prime Minister Damdinsbazar, it's actually my uncle's name, who in 1922 described the worm. It is shaped like a sausage, about 2 feet long, has no head nor leg, and it is so poisonous that merely to touch it means instant death. It lives in the most desolate parts of the Gobi Desert. You know, right off the bat, instant death. Come on, guys. Instant death. Somebody name to me any entity that is actually a known thing that is instant death. Seems believable, yeah. Being as it's shaped like a sausage, I can't help but wonder what it probably tastes like. Like, can you cook off the poison, or is like eating it instant death? Like, that's a deterrent for sure. Yeah, you think so? I don't know. What was I was looking at something because we were talking about instant death. Oh yeah, anything else? Anything that probably prepared in a way to avoid the poison? I would think so. He even said so. Touching him means you die. He said it, and so it must be true, right? Mr. Beast did it. Mr. Beast ate a Mongolian death worm. Is that... Oh, Rick Sanchez. Yeah, you're probably right on that. Yeah, Mr. Beast did it. All right. He did it live on stream, but I heard the footage was lost. So I think some people saw it, but ultimately, you know, it wasn't recorded. Then again, maybe it was the Mandela effect. The worm is said to inhabit the western or southern Gobi. In 1987 book Altajn Sadak Govt, fluent Mongolian. Cites Mongolian legend, which described the creature as traveling underground. It is Dune. Okay. Creating waves of sand on the surface, which allow it to be detective. It is said it can kill at a distance, either by spraying a venom at its prey or by means of electric discharge. So it's basically like an electric eel mixed with a, well, like an earthworm, because it has to go through the ground, right? Plus a spraying venom. What sprays venom? It primarily lives in burrows underground, only rarely coming to the surface. So there could be millions of them, for all you know. For all you know. Sounds like it was the inspiration for Dune. Yeah, probably. Dune had babies with a giant electric eel. Eel. Ugh. Imagine a giant electric eagle. These buggers flying around. Thunderbirds. That actually makes sense. Thunderbirds are those are a cryptid too, aren't they? Hang on, I gotta look, because I thought that, there it is. Yeah, Thunderbird. Look at that. I was right. Giant electric eagles. Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, that's not an entity. That's a. Is that what you're talking about? This great bird? No, I don't think so. Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl. Mayan words. Yeah. Anyway, going back to what we were talking about. Investigations, basis of the story. Oh boy, Kurkoi again by Russian paleontologist. Blah 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 blah. New Zealand television entertainment reporter David Ferrier. I also speak fluent New Zealandish. Took part in an expedition, came up empty-handed. Big surprise there. Video game Shadow of the Colossus. The 10th boss, Dirge, is speculated to be inspired by the Mongolian deathworm due to its ability to move through sand super fast. There it is, look at that. Sandworm Dune. Boom! Knew there would be a link in there somewhere. Had to be. Isn't Quetzalcoatl the Thunderbird? Is it? Is she? I don't know. Let's see. Since we're changing topics here, since our giant electric eagles are now. No. See, these are of the Native American sort, not South American. That is a little bit different there. Iconography, non-indigenous scientific interpretations. American science historian and folklorist Adrian Mayer, British historian Tom Holland. What? That's not Tom Holland. Oh well. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He doesn't look like Spider-Man, right? He looks more like what's his name from Harry Potter? The bad buddy. Tom Holland in 40 years. Yeah, you might not be wrong there. He's British. Hey, look, I mean, they're both British, so they may as well be the same person. They both suggested that indigenous Thunderbird stories are based on discoveries of pterosaur fossils by Native Americans. Oh, that may be true, yeah. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Excuse me. However, it's also been noted that by whom, I love these little things, they're like, excuse me, who noted that? We need to know. That's why nobody trusts Wikipedia. Despite variations, the typical design elements of the motif within different tribal groups across the continent appear distinct from the makeup of the suggested prehistoric flying reptile, such as eagle or raptor-like avian, feathered wings and tail, along with a vastly different head shape, perhaps with the exception of some Pacific Northwest imagery. There you go again, up there in the Pacific Northwest where everybody's on drugs. Time traveler, that may be actually. In fact, if you watch Endgame or Infinity War, which one? Endgame? I think it's Endgame. Very well, maybe A time traveler. Thunderbird is the name of an operator in the popular competitive shooter Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, for you gamers out there. Now you know. In 1925, aleuts were recorded as using the term to describe the Douglas World Cruiser aircraft, which passed through Atka on the first aerial circumnavigation by a U.S. Army team the previous year. Well, that's interesting. See, I wonder if they attributed the word thunder not to, you know, well, I mean, it was the sound. It had to have been the sound coming from a giant bird-like something that was making a loud noise. I mean, that makes sense. A giant aircraft probably made a lot of noise as it flew over. Oh, hey, we got Pokemon here for you, Adrian. Zapdos. Zapdos. It is part of the legendary bird trio. Its design is inspired by the indigenous North American myth of the Thunderbird. Who knew it? Cryptids are Pokemon. You did. You knew it. It's true. Now that we know it's true, may as well just end. We may as well just be done, because you were right, and we can all go home now. But we're not done yet, though. We got more cryptids to kind of talk about here. We didn't even get into the Loch Ness Monster, which is personally my favorite, but that is really just because of my Scottish heritage. I don't show the bottom half of my body because I'm wearing a kilt, because I'm that Scottish. It's true. Boom shakalaka, with Lugia being their moms. Oh, you know what? You're right, and I totally know what you're talking about. Zapdos Moltres Articuno. Bet. I've learned in the language of Gen Z, if you say bet, pretty much that finishes the conversation. Or boom shakalaka in this case, I guess. Let's talk about the Loch Ness Monster, guys. Let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Lake monsters. Loch Ness in particular. There's the sea ape. That thing's freaky. Ew, I didn't see that before. Ugh, what on earth am I looking at? This is like a flying fish with human teeth. Yeah. And this looks like he's trying to eat himself. What is it? Making out with his imaginary girlfriend. You turn that thing on his side and he's like, oh, baby, I love you, I love you. Gross. Back to the Desired program. Yeah, well, look, we'll talk about Pokemon when it's your turn to pick. Ooh, I shouldn't say that too loud, because next time it might be your turn to pick. JK, we'll talk about whoever wins wants to talk about. As long as it doesn't get me kicked off of Twitch. Let's talk about Loch Ness. Nessie here, Nessie. The Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness. Scottish Gaelic. Ulpaced Loch Ness. Affectionately known as Nessie, because he's so snuggly. You ever, well, of course you haven't. Well, I mean, those of you who have children. Yeah, mams. Big boobies. Mams. Anyway, those of you with children might know Nessie and Jessie. Jessie and Nessie. It's a kid's show. A little Scottish girl. Sus. I like it. And she imagines that her friend is Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster, and they go on adventures. And they learn a lot of things. It's actually kind of a cute show. Look it up. Look it up. No, you know what? I'm going to look it up for you. We're going to supersede the Thunderbird here. Jessie and Nessie, because, let's be honest, everybody spelled it wrong. Why is it so windy today? Look, this is a great kid's show, okay? Look at this. She puts on her little glasses, and all of a sudden, she sees things that aren't there. Yeah, you are going to look up a kid's show, because I'm doing it right now. But yeah, you put on the glasses, and all of a sudden you can see Nessie. This is their version of Nessie, though. Let's be honest, though. That's pretty freaky. Wait a second. Maybe that's not Nessie, but it is. I mean, it is, from what I remember. I mean, I don't watch it all the time, but, you know, every now and again I get a hankering for Scottish children's shows. That's true. Hype! Hype for Jesse and Nessie, everybody. Check it out. In August 1933, the Courier published the account of George Spicer's alleged sighting. Public interest skyrocketed, with countless letters being sent in detailing different sightings, describing a monster fish, sea serpent, or dragon, with the final name ultimately settling on Loch Ness Monster. Since the 1940s, the creature has been affectionately called Nessie. Where did it come from, though? Where did it come from? It came from the 6th century AD. The earliest report of a monster in the vicinity of Loch Ness appears in the Life of Saint Columba by Adamnan, written in the 6th century AD. According to Adamnan, writing about a century after the events described, which is always how it goes. Y'all notice something about history, and this is why there's so much dubious stuff out there, is the accounts that we get of things in history almost always come from sources writing about it a century or so later. Isn't that wild? That's just crazy. I mean, like, what are you supposed to do at that point, right? Like, how do you trust anything anybody says? It seems like it's always coming from some third-party source or whatever. So, anyway, back to Nessie. Sorry, just checking to see if we have any requests here. I don't see any, so we'll keep going. Writing about a century after the events described, Irish monk Saint Columba was staying in the land of the Picts. Oh, that's interesting. Picts were actually a group of people, Celtic people, who lived in that area. That would have been post-Roman times, so they would have migrated from the Germanic regions, I believe. I think. Pre-Viking, Middle Ages. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about that today, but did you see that monolith? That was cool. Look at that. That's cool. Them Picts, look at that. They're like, you know what? Picts or it didn't happen. Picts did happen, as you can see there. All right, yeah, where were we? Staying in the land of the Picts with his companions when he encountered local residents burying a man by the River Ness. They explained that the man was swimming in the river when he was attacked by a water beast. That mauled him and dragged him underwater despite their attempts to rescue him by boat. Columba sent a follower. I'm never going to get that name right. Columba. Sent a follower, Luigne Mokumin. That's a language I'm not familiar with. To swim across the river. Like, hey, there's a dude out there just got drowned by a sea monster. Do me a favor and swim across and see what you can see. The beast approached him. Oh, what? But Columba made the sign of the cross and said, "Go no further. Do not touch the man. Go back at once." The creature stopped as if it had been pulled back with ropes and fled, and Columba's men and the Picts gave thanks for what they perceived as a miracle. So you had, in Ireland, you had St. Patrick, who got rid of the snakes. And in Scotland, you had St. Columba, who got rid of the Loch Ness Monster. Believers in the monster point to this story set in the River Ness, rather than the loch itself, as evidence for the creature's existence as early as the 6th century. If anybody is wondering what a loch is similar to a lake, except that it has an opening that goes directly out into the sea. So, no, it is not a lake. It is not enclosed. It does, in fact, run out into the the saltwater ocean, whatnot. In case you were wondering. Is anybody wondering? Well, it doesn't matter if you were wondering or not, because now you know. You're welcome. Believers in the monster point to the story set in the river Ness rather than the loch itself as evidence for the creature's existence as early as the 6th century. Skeptics, like myself, questioned the narrative's reliability because it was a century later, noting that water beast stories were extremely common in medieval hagiographies. I'll have to look up the meaning of that because I don't remember it. And Adamnan's tale probably recycles a common motif attached to a local landmark. That makes sense. According to skeptics, Adamnan's story may be independent of the modern Loch Ness Monster legend and became attached to it by believers seeking to bolster their claims. Sounds about right. You were passively curious. Yeah, it's like you were curious, you just didn't know yet that you were curious. And then once I told you, you were no longer curious, whether you knew it or not. Okay, that's how it works. Ronald Binns considers that this is the most serious of various alleged early sightings of the monster, but all other claimed sightings before 1933 are dubious and do not prove a monster tradition before that date. Christopher Kearney uses a specific historical and cultural analysis of Adamnan to separate Adamnan's story about St. Columba from the modern myth of the Loch Ness Monster, but finds an earlier and culturally significant use of Celtic water beast folklore along the way. In doing so, he also discredits any strong connection between Kelpies, or water horses, and the modern media-augmented creation of the Loch Ness Monster. He also concludes that the story of St. Columba may have been impacted by earlier Irish myths, and those Irish, about the Coronach and an Oldfeist. Yeah, well, anyway. That's good. This is the guy that took the picture of it, right? The 1871? No, that had to be later on, right? Let's see. October 1871, D. Mackenzie of Balnain reportedly saw an object resembling a log or upturned boat wriggling and churning up the water, moving slowly at first, but before disappearing at a faster speed. The account was not published until 1934, when Mackenzie sent this story in a letter to Rupert Gould, shortly after popular interest in the monster increased. Unsurprisingly, it did indeed increase, that is. All right, well, there you have it, guys. That's the Loch Ness Monster. Loch Ness Monster as sketched by Mr. A. Grant from Lieutenant Commander Gould's interesting monograph upon the subject. People spoke funny back then, huh? From Commander Gould's interesting monograph upon the subject. Or was it the Loch Ness Monster as sketched by Mr. A. Grant from Lieutenant Commander Gould's interesting monograph upon the subject? Scottish is a bit off today. Normally fluent in that as well. So, not flippers on the back. No, looks like he's got a couple of toes there. A couple of little piggies. Who would have thought? Surgeon's photograph, Taylor film, lots of stuff. Loch Ness Muppet, I'm interested. On the 21st of May, 1977, Anthony Doc Shields camping next to that castle. Took some of the clearest pictures of the monster until this day. Citation needed. Oh no, this person's probably lying. Shields, a magician and psychic, so we know we can definitely trust him, claimed to have summoned the animal out of the water. Ooh, come forth, Loch Ness. Monster. This Loch Ness is the actual loch. It's Loch Ness. That is weird. I would never expected that animal to have toes. He later described it as an elephant squid. Claiming the long neck shown in the photograph is actually the squid's trunk, and that a white spot at the base of the neck is its eye. Due to the lack of ripples, it has been declared a hoax by a number of people and received its name because of its staged look. Oh, I thought it was actually going to talk about a Muppet, like Jim Henson's Muppets. I guess really what I was kind of hoping for, but yeah. I gotta look at this though. What? Oh, you know what? We're talking about an actual photo. Where's the photo then? You don't want to show the actual photo that you're saying was faked? Oh. Wise man. Big Nicholas. Anthony Doc Shells. Salford born. Magician and writer. He's still alive. Apparently. I'm curious. Born in 1938. This guy's old as dirt. He's from Killarney. Oh no, he's in a pub in Killarney. Got it. Alright. I don't know about y'all, but I'm bored of the Loch Ness Monster now. Calling someone a Muppet over there is calling them dumb. Yeah, I know. That's true. I was thinking exactly that, you Muppet. I wonder then how, like, did that come after the Muppets, like Jim Henson's Muppets? Or did that come before? Like, does he call them Muppets because in Europe they call Muppets, they call dumb people Muppets? I'm curious. So you type in Muppet and it goes to the Muppets. Jim Henson's the Muppets. Huh. Yeah. 89. All right. Well, this obviously isn't going to talk about the etymology of the word, so I'm going to get out of that. All right. I gotta click on this. Ugh. Oh, just looking at it creeps me out, guys. Muppet etymology. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably could have done that. Calling someone a Muppet over there is calling dumb. Free, I'd say. Yeah, maybe. No. Nope. I know, that's what I'm saying, but we got to. It's Ohio. Oh, that explains a lot. Ohio. Of course it would be freaking Ohio. The Loveland Frog, also known as the Loveland Frogman, a Loveland lizard, is a legendary humanoid frog. Oh, just like the words coming out is like gross. A humanoid frog described as standing roughly 4 feet tall. That's the size of my 4-year-old. It's the size of my 6-year-old. Allegedly spotted in Loveland, Ohio. In 1972, the Loveland frog legend gained renewed attention when a Loveland police officer reported to a colleague that he had seen an animal consistent with descriptions of the frogman. After a reported sighting in 2016, that's not that long ago. The second officer called a news station to report that he had shot and killed the same creature some weeks after the 1972. Oh, come on, that's bullshit. In 2016, dude's like, okay, I admit, back in 1972, I shot and killed this thing. I just didn't want to say anything until now. Come on. He had identified it as a large iguana that was missing its tail. Okay, I see. He's trying to tell people, no, I killed it. I didn't want to tell anybody then, but I killed it and it was actually just an iguana. Whatever. According to various legends, the creature was first sighted by a businessman or a traveling salesman driving along. Traveling salesman. Reminds me of the guy that knocked on my door today. Along an unnamed road late at night in 1955, some versions of the story specifying the month of May. Ooh, getting into specifics now. In one story, the driver was heading out of the Branch Hill neighborhood when he spotted 3 figures stood erect on their hind legs along the side of the road, each 3 to 4 feet in height with leathery skin and frog faces. In other versions of the story, the creatures were spotted under or over a poorly lit bridge. One held a wand over its head that fired a spray of sparks. Well, they're magic frog people. it is Harry Potter. That's Harry Potter stuff. Yo, Ratchet, what's up, baby? It's been a little while. Thanks for stopping in, dude. We're talking about cryptids tonight, and we're presently talking about the Loveland Frog. Sounds written by H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, you're not wrong about it. Well, that's actually funny because with all this talk right now about like aliens and stuff, right? Like, how come people see these things and think, oh, it's a human frog man, but they're not thinking, oh, it's from outer space? Like, where's the disconnect? Like, right off the bat, wouldn't you be going like, hey, this thing doesn't look like it's from this planet? Are they aliens? Or maybe aliens are cryptids too. Oh no, we have actual evidence of them. Never mind the man behind the curtain. Aliens, guys. We're never going to talk about aliens here. That's not true. We're probably at some point going to talk about aliens here. And it's going to be straight up in the context of how it's just a friggin' distraction from all the other shit that's going on. Because that's all it is. It's all it ever was. And I refuse to believe that aliens and UFOs are coming to visit a planet that we can barely even get out of the orbit of, or out of the gravitational pull of. Assuming you believe in a spherical planet, which I do because it makes sense and has also been proven many times. So shut up. Let's talk about this frog person some more. Yeah, the Loveland Frog. That's right. Aliens would have to be, except that depends. Like, if you define cryptids as earthbound, which I think is kind of what they go for here, you wouldn't say that aliens are the same thing. And in all fairness, aliens could and likely exist. But what a far-fetched idea that they're just coming here and being like, hey, let's see what the humans are up to today. You know what? Let's take one with us. Let's see what they're made of. Yeah, man, I mean, we did that back in the 50s. We really need to abduct another one. They haven't really changed much in the last 70 years. Loveland Frog, disgusting little thing. Hot damn, I'm the Loveland Frog. In 2019, artist Dog died. Is that Dog died or Dog deed? Dog died. That's sad. That's a sad name. In May 2014, the Loveland Frog legend was made into a musical titled Hot Damn, It's the Loveland Frog. 2019, artist Dog Died created a song, Hot Damn, I'm the Loveland Frog. Oh, this is from this year. Look at this. In 2023, the Loveland Frog became the city's mascot. Oh, now you know it must be real. It's the mascot now for the city. The frog, dressed as a frog prince, debuted at the city's second annual Hearts of Fire weekend celebration and appears at other city events. Guys, that's too much. Oh, I forgot you were doing it today this week. Should I be scared to ask what I missed? Literally everything. You missed literally everything, but thanks for popping in. She's like, what's my husband been doing for the last hour and a half? He's been hanging out with me, but that's pretty typical. Anyway, 22 kills in Tarkov. Hey, yeah, good for you. Congratulations, man. So yeah, guys, it's that time. I'm done with this. I'm done. We have talked about cryptids. We've gone through this extremely accurate list of all of the cryptids. Let's name them all real quick because there are so many of them. I'm not going to go through and name all of them. I don't want to do that. But top of the list as far as our favorites go, obviously Jersey Devil's going to make it into the top 4 or 5 there. Mothman, I think Mothman's number 1. I think everybody really loved Mothman. We talked a little bit about Thunderbird. Yeti versus Bigfoot. They're the same person, as it turns out. Same as the skunk ape and the Honey Island swamp monster. They're all the same thing. Yeah, we didn't really talk about the flying ones outside of Mothman. We talked a little bit about Thunderbird. We talked about this nasty fuck right here, Mongolian deathworm. Yeah, he should just... Nope. We didn't talk about Chupacabra. I'm surprised. We didn't really talk about that very much, but that's okay. That looks like the lizard man from the old movies, like the old sci-fi movies. Yeah, well, anyway, we are definitely completely done talking about this now. So, guys, it is time to wrap it up. We've got one thing left to do, which, of course, is to figure out who gets the honors of deciding what next week's topic is. And it's going to be Monday, so you're going to have to get me that topic by Monday. Our winner is Adrian Tempish. Lucky bastard. You get to decide what we're talking about today. If you already know, you're welcome to go ahead and put it in chat anytime before we end. If not, go ahead and just message it to me in Discord. Our number 2 winner with 2,400 points was Mr. President Streaming. So, Mr. President Streaming, if you're still listening, I just need you to send me some type of image that I can use for my backdrop here. Something interesting, fun, doesn't have to have anything to do with what we're talking about. It just has to be whatever you want, and make sure it's not something that's going to get me kicked off of Twitch, YouTube, or Spotify. No pornography. I know you're into that stuff. So, Adrian, same goes for you, buddy. You know the rules. You've done this before. Just make sure it's not anything that's going to get me like banned from stuff. So, I don't like to do deadlines as much anymore, but because we do go live on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I need to have that topic before midnight on Friday. That's the day after tomorrow, before midnight. That's it for our topic of conversation today, guys. Thank you to everyone who has participated. I've really enjoyed this particular episode because it's been fun. And don't forget to visit the Creators Lounge on Discord. There is a link down in the About Me section down below, if you know what I mean. We are a community of creators, so if you are a creator and you want to join a bunch of people who do a lot of the same kind of stuff, please come hang out, chat. We are, by the way, having a get-together tomorrow night for the Creators Lounge members. So if you are a member of the Creators Lounge Discord, you're welcome to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in the Discord. We're going to be hanging out, chatting, and playing some games. So don't miss that. It will be a good time. And of course, if you like what you heard tonight, don't forget to check us out on YouTube. We post the recording every Monday at 5 a.m., so you'll be able to check that out for the remix, not the remix, but the replay anyway, Monday on Spotify and also on YouTube. Details, again, are downstairs in my pants. Nope, sorry, below the box is really what I meant to say. So definitely check that out. Click on the links. We also post on TikTok, so check out the TikTok. We do some fun little clips from time to time on there. Also, don't forget to drop into our very special mod who has been helping us out tonight. Everybody, big ol' thank you and a round of applause for Mr. Hawaiian Cobra. He's helped keep track of all of our points and whatnot. So you can check him out here on Twitch at Hawaiian_Cobra. He streams daily. Doesn't miss a single day. That's it for tonight, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap her up. Mandela? Oh, wait. What? You want to talk about Mandela effect? Ooh, guys. Prepare to go down a rabbit hole. This is something that I've looked at a lot more than I probably should have. It always results in the same thing, though. Just so you know, we're going to wind up questioning our own existence. So there is that. So we're going to be talking about the Mandela effect on Monday. At first, you reminded me of Free Guy. Lol. Thank you. I will actually take that as a compliment because Ryan Reynolds is probably one of the sexiest people alive. That's just a fact. Absolute fact. That's it for tonight, guys. We're gonna... Let's see if we're gonna be rating anybody tonight. Yeah, looks like we really should. Your clothing looks like the main character from the movie. Well, actually, you don't know this because I don't tell anyone, but I'll tell you now. I'm actually an NPC. I am completely AI generated. That's right. I'm not even a real person. Would you like me to do my NPC acting some more? I'm actually pretty good at it. I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't like doing that. It's icky. It's icky. Don't do it. All right, we're going to raid somebody, guys. Do we have suggestions on who we should raid tonight? I'm not looking closely at Twitch, so I don't know who is liggity live. Let me see. Let me see. Ratchet, you're live right now? Iron Ratchet is live right now. He is a loyal member of the Creators Lounge. He's currently playing Call of Duty Warzone. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and raid Mr. Iron Ratchet. So you're getting pretty close to did you hit affiliate yet? Let me double check you yet there. So I think you were still looking for some things there. Yep. All right, guys, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and raid Mr. Iron Ratchet. Thank you so much, and don't forget to join us again on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't be a stranger. Absolutely chat and request to get on the voice channel stuff and whatever. That's it. We are going to go now. I have nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. Okay, I have a couple of other things to say. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. Bye. Ah, that's the wrong screen. I'm an idiot. Dang it. Where's my ending screen? There it is. Okay, bye.